My golden child brother crashed our dad's car as a teen. They bought her a new one. I broke a cheap vase and got grounded for weeks. Growing up, it was just my mom, brother, and I. Life wasn't easy for my mother, as she was raising my brother and I on her own. She did everything she could to take care of us, worked 2 jobs, and had to get babysitters to watch my brother and I. The struggle of running out of food, electricity turned off, or even my mom battling a pain pill addiction from when I was about 10 to 17 years old did not compare to the trauma my family/babysitters put me through. I have 4 girl cousins around my age. Initials are A, B, TT, H, and an older cousin, T, who is B's mother. T is my first cousin, my mother's niece, while A, B, TT, and H are my second cousins. To begin my story, I must tell you that T had a husband, A, and they would babysit my brother and I. The very first memory I can remember while being babysat by T and A is there was one time I was hungry. I was about 5 or 6 years old, and my brother and A were playing on a GameCube. I repeatedly stated I'm hungry. My brother even remembers me saying it continuously. Being the child I was, I walked up to the GameCube and turned it off while they were playing because I was hungry. They instantly grabbed me by my arm and put me in the bathroom while turning the lights off. What made this traumatizing is, there was a scarecrow in the bathroom, which T and A had us kids watch the Children of the Corn movie, which a scarecrow in a dark bathroom terrified me. I had me sit in the bathroom until T and B got home, which was for an hour. I remember screaming and crying to be let out, even opening the door because I was terrified of the dark, where my brother remembers seeing my head poke out of the door begging to be let out. I would get up and yell at me to shut the door, which my brother was still young and was too scared to say or do anything, which is understandable. I am unsure why I never told my mom about this situation, as I just think I was happy to be in her presence again and not in that nightmare of a bathroom. Another memory I have, I was around the same age, is where T was having a game night at her house with all of the older cousins and kids. Since I grew up poor, I never experienced a real fireplace. I only saw them in the movies, and T had a fireplace. T was sitting 2 feet in front of the fireplace, which the fireplace was covered by one of those wired type of covers. Interested in the fire, I lightly blew it to see what it would do. T instantly accused me of trying to catch her hair on fire, which was not even thought in my mind as I was just 5-6 years old. T grabbed me by the arm and hooped me, which T had never even hooped her own daughter, B, for anything. I didn't tell my mom, as I was made to believe I was bad and wrong for trying to catch her hair on fire. Another memory is the time my little cousin tried to put her bowl of milk on kitchen counter where she could not reach. As the older cousin, I was slightly taller than A, but not quite there yet to actually reach the counter. Since A could not reach the counter, I tried to help her put the bowl on top of the counter but was unsuccessful. The bowl fell and glass shattered everywhere. T ran over so quick, and of course I get hooped even though I tried to explain I was just trying to help. T and A then told me I had to sit down by the fireplace downstairs while they go upstairs to watch a movie, and my other cousins were going to be upstairs having a tea party. T and A had just played the Chucky movie the night before, which terrified me as a child. As I sat by the fireplace alone, I kept seeing red hair from around the stairs. Now I know as an adult, I was just imagining stuff, but at the time, I was terrified. I kept going to the top of the stairs just so I wouldn't be alone, where T and A would yell at me just to go down again. It eventually got to the point where I fell asleep on the ground until my mom came and got me after work. There was an instance my brother, B, and I were playing volleyball in the house with a little red ball. B hit the ball at me and bumped over a cup of Kool-Aid that spilled all over a portrait that was on the table. T heard and got very angry and upset, which she blamed me for B's picture being ruined. T told me I was going to have to go to her father's house. Her father molested my mom and often made me very uncomfortable. This is because there was a family member's birthday party, which I would have to go to T's dad's house instead of the birthday party. Luckily, my mom came and got my brother and I. There were multiple instances where I would be hungry, and T would provide her daughter with a happy meal, while giving me lettuce, salad, without any dressing or anything, and told me I could not leave the table until I finished it. My cousin H also experienced this exact situation, which felt validating. Fast forward a couple years, I was about 10 years old and developed my own friendships along the way. These friendships kept me away from these cousins, thankfully, but when I was 13, my mom fell really deep into a depression and addiction to pain pills. My cousin, B, reached out to me to hang out with her, which I was excited to just get out of my house. My mom was sleeping almost always, and my brother is 6 years older than me and played his PlayStation all of the time. I didn't have anything to keep me occupied at home, so I always felt lonely and depressed. Due to that, that's why there was excitement when B reached out to me. I went over to B's house and instantly noticed that many people from my grade were also allowed to hang out there. It was cool, almost like a party every weekend. B and I were on the same cheer team, so it was fun to have a close cousin/friend to hang out with outside and inside of school. A couple years went by, and there were a couple of fallouts with B and I. Now we are 15, 16, and now freshmen in high school. B and I made up and became cool again, so the party began. B was T and A's only child. They made sure to spoil her, whether it was B's grandparents or other family members. B always got what she wanted. B was in dance classes, got flowers for recitals. B was the older cousin's favorite, where she would go to the zoo or movies with the cousins I looked up to. B was just the overall favorite of the family, and nobody was shy to show it. T growing up was always on the overweight side, and has always been very rude to the family and people around her. T actually got her siblings taken away from her own mother, which was because she did not like her mother's boyfriend and her mother was an alcoholic. T loved to throw parties, be the center of attention, or try to be the most liked person. T would tell me to throw parties as freshmen in high school, which was exciting for me. I wanted to be grown, and grown meant partying at that time. T would provide us with alcohol, where my first memories of drinking were constantly blacking out. T would even drink with us kids, and A would smoke with those that wanted to smoke Mary Jane. It was a party house for us kids, and that's what kept us going there. Going there got me away from the sadness at home, so I continued to go over there since I could do whatever I wanted. From freshman to junior year of high school, it was party, fallout, party some more, fallout, party again, and finally senior year, fallout officially. As an adult now, I can understand I had many faults in the situations I am going to explain. T would always mention how I was too skinny and that I needed to gain weight. This messed with my confidence as I felt like being too skinny wasn't attractive. I was a teen, so I wanted to feel pretty. T would also have me clean her house. Whether it was sweeping, mopping, or anything along the lines, I was cleaning. There was an instance where B had stole some things from a store and showed T what she had got. T was interested in what B got and didn't make a fuss about it. Then, there was a time I stole something from the store, which T scolded me in front of 6 to 8 teens, which embarrassed me. I thought it would be okay since B for away with it, but I was wrong. T would live through her daughter B. T would tell B to wear short booty shorts to show off her, but as B invited some guy over. T would also tell B to start working out to lose weight, or to text a certain guy because he was cute. T wanted B to be the most popular, hence the parties, providing liquor, letting teens have sex in her home, just letting us teens do whatever we wanted in her house. This worked for so long. It made B one of the most liked people. I can't tell every specific detail that caused me to boil over, but those are the core memories I have from the house. Then, there was a specific situation where we had all went camping an hour away from home. I had my tent set up completely, and I had my ex-boyfriend with me. My mom wanted me to come home to help her look for something important real quick, so I drove home. I drove the hour back up to see that T let 2 other kids take the tent I set up and was supposed to sleep in. I was angry as T knew I was coming back, which she said, "They got here and you guys left." The other teen said, "Move your feet, lose your seat," which T laughed. This made me beyond angry as it was fake in my opinion, and I didn't know what to do at that point. I drove back home again with my ex-boyfriend and slept in the car as my mom would not allow my ex in the house to stay the night. Angry clearly, I stopped talking to T and B, which I noticed B started to get close with my best friend at the time. B texted me saying that I will never amount to anything and that she will be more successful than me. The only reason I have food and a house is because of the government, and that's why my ex cheats on me. All of this was beyond offensive, and I couldn't believe what I just read at the time. T and A had received government assistance while B was a child. B also was cheated on, and the success statement was just wild. Throughout the high school years, T and many of the teens' parents that came to the house found out that T had been providing alcohol to us kids. Many kids were not allowed over anymore. Specifically, there was a time. My best friend's mom had came to T asking if the rumors are true, if she provides and allows kids to drink, smoke Mary Jane, and have sex, which T bold-faced lied to my best friend's mom stating that she would never let that happen. Since I was angry, I impulsively told my mom everything that was happening at T's house, which I stated that T had lied to my best friend's mom. My mom contacted my best friend's mom and told her everything I had told her. My best friend's mom then wanted to talk to my mom and I face-to-face, which my cousin H and ex-boyfriend went there with us and my best friend was there as well. She asked us about the drinking, sex, Mary Jane, where we confirmed that it was happening. My best friend's mom was angry, along with my best friend's stepfather, as soon as he heard that Mary Jane was being smoked over there. Her stepfather wanted to go beat up A for allowing all of this, which the ultimatum came up of all of us going to the police officer and pressing charges. My mother did not want to press any charges as it was her niece, and she believed that was too far of a punishment. My best friend's mother was hellbent, so I ended up testifying stating everything that happened there. along with my best friend, cousin, and ex. My mom did not want anything this deep to happen. My best friend's mother continued on with the charges, even messaging T's job for her to lose her LPN license, which T had to pay many court costs. I never intended on the situation to get that far. I just wanted T to see how it felt to be left in the dust since she had treated me so foul over the years. I understand my decision was very impulsive and out of control, which I've been able to take accountability for my actions. Many of us who were at the house with the drinking have turned into alcoholics and found ourselves in bad situations from alcohol. We were teens robbed from our youth by how alcohol blinded us. Ever since I was 15 up until I was 23, I've blacked out drinking more than I hadn't, which I do solely blame the fact I was introduced and provided alcohol on an every weekend basis at such a young age. I am now 24 and have been sober for almost 6 months, but I definitely found myself in many bad and unsafe situations due to alcohol. This big blow-up /WW3 happened in 2019. It is now 2025, which the family is in turmoil. T and B still are not able to come together with my mother and I and have a face-to-face conversation about everything that has happened. Many of the family members do not step up to T as many functions include or are hosted by T, which T is very good at getting people shut out. Nobody in my extended family speaks to my mother, brother, or me. I could care less about anyone speaking to me, although it bothers me that T's mother, my aunt, and my mother no longer speak due to the situation. My mom and brother had nothing to do with the situation, which my mother and aunt are only getting older / in their 60s. The family used to be very close, and I know it hurts my mom that she no longer can speak with her sister. I know it is a lot, and I know I've made mistakes, but I have no intention of apologizing or getting close with these people as they have disrespected me and traumatized me time after time. I am simply looking and asking for some opinions. Please keep it nice. And would you think there's any way to at least get my mother and aunt on speaking terms again?